All right. I recently I done a little poem with you, and this is going to kind of lead into this next question. What do you see the problem that it is with leaders today?
With leaders, you know what? There is a lot of bad leadership. There's a lot of people who need to take initiative. I think one of the biggest problems with leadership today is people don't stand firm on what they believe in. You know, you always gonna have somebody who gonna disagree with you. You know, but I think based off of credibility, you know, and what you have done, you have to stand for what you believe and you have to go for it. And you can't worry about what people have to say. You know, a lot of times when you have a leader who's stepping out doing things, whether it's in the community, in the business, or anywhere, you know, that person has experience in that field. And the people who criticize and have negative things to say, you know, they probably, in most cases, haven't even attempted to do half of the things this leader has done. So I think one of the biggest things when acknowledging a leader or even, you know, trying to defend the fact that there are some good leaders, I think that we have to recognize that, you know, when you have somebody who's trying to be somebody positive or somebody that's actually stepping out, we got to recognize what they're fighting for. You know, we call people like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X great leaders because we recognize the things that they actually fought for and the things that they put their life on the line for. Well, there's a lot of things today that is not necessarily the same issue that we were dealing with 40 and 50 years ago. You know, so we have to recognize that the leaders that are stepping out today are dealing with the issues at hand. You know, racism was crazy, you know, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And I mean, racism still exists today, don't get me wrong, but it's not the same, it's not to the same effect that it was at one point. You know, so a lot of leaders that are actually stepping out today, you know, they are dealing with teaching people how to build businesses. They're teaching people, they're trying to even change young people's minds to stop them from having so much hatred in their hearts, killing each other, and so many things that's going on today. I mean, school systems, they don't paddle kids anymore. A lot of parents don't want, you know, people putting their hands on their children because a lot of these people they just wrongfully do it, or a lot of them uh, probably don't even whoop their own kids when they need it, and then obviously the government get involved with that. So I just think that there's so many aspects of leadership, and we can go on and on about it. But I think that we do need to recognize the leaders who have stepped up and who are fighting for a cause, and give them their credit, because what I'm noticing is we comparing them to those Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's and Marcus Garveys and people of that nature, but those people deal with different issues. You know, there's different issues here in 2016. You know, parents are buying video games for their children that got, you know, visual sex being showed through video game. You know, so I mean, to me, that means something. There needs to be something done with that. And anybody who is speaking on those things, anybody who is actually taking action to teach parents that, you know, everything starts at home and you're the number one teacher or the leader in your kid's life and you need to be influential in a positive way, I feel like, you know, that's somebody who needs to be acknowledged as a leader. You know, anybody who's stepping out to teach people reality business and how they can prosper, and that creates jobs and it helps our economy, I feel like that is a leader. But if we only look at racial issues and say, well, if they're not standing up to a Martin Luther King or somebody who has been shot or killed, then they're not leaders, then we'll never know what a leader is. But that's just me.